Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Toy Story 2 for the N64. Last time we defeated our archnemesis Zurg. Now we're going to take on airport infiltration. So now that we have found out Woody is headed to the airport, Al drives off in his car and the toys borrow a Pizza Planet truck to catch up. The toys make it into the luggage sorting area and search high and low for Woody and the Roundup Gang. So it appears that even though we just saw Bullseye and Jesse, Al has somehow taken them with Woody to the airport. He is trying to sell them, I guess, to a buyer in Japan. So we need to catch them before it is too late and Woody, our friend Woody and his Roundup Gang are gone forever, never to return. So now we have the next level of the game. As you see, we have some hunter figurines and some snakes here. So this level is, it can be pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but fortunately I do, so I'll be able to kind of walk you through this if you get stuck. If you're playing along, or if you want to play along later on. So basically this level, this is actually kind of funny because I got stuck in this very beginning area when I first played this level for like ever. And it can get confusing if you get lost, and you can get lost a lot if you don't know where you're going or what you're doing. So what you want to do here is you want to jump onto these suitcases that have the jumping icon where you can jump and propel yourself. As you notice, these orange ones don't have that, but what you want to do is you still want to get on top of them, as I did not do there, and you want to swing from these bars up here. Alright, so now that I'm on top of that suitcase, we're going to swing from this bar, jump over here, and then you want to jump onto, can't get this coin, see I missed that one, but you want to jump on these orange suitcases and use them as platforms to allow you to be higher up, so that way you can swing from those bars. And we failed miserably there. Wait for our next suitcase. But you want to go up here, swing on this bar, and then get onto this conveyor. Get some more coins on the way. We have another blue suitcase. This one will propel us up. And as you can see here, we enter another room. This is the part I'd never understood before when I first played this game. But once you get through this little area here where this big conveyor belt is, it takes you to another area. And you can just jump down and complete the rest of the level in there. I got stuck in this area for so long because I was just in this one room, not knowing that there was like a conveyor that took you to the next room. That sounds silly, but that's exactly how I thought. And I just was confused. But what we want to do is we want to jump on top of this conveyor, kill this vulture. And we have a couple things up here real fast before we leave this first area. First up here you have another little Tikes. So little Tikes will be your collectible in this level again, similar to the construction yard. Except these guys are, I think, just passengers for a bigger little Tike guy that's looking for, he's like a pilot, I think. He's looking for his little Tike passengers. So we'll collect 5 of these guys in this level. If you notice this white area over here, if you jump over here, this is where Ham's going to be. So of course we don't have our 50 coins yet, but once we do, we'll come back, circle back to Ham and return those in, or turn those in. But that is where Ham's located, so do not forget where he is at, because of course you're going to need him for all of your Pizza Planet tokens if you're planning on 100%ing this game like I am. But we want to jump down here to this bottom area, kill this hunter figurine. And we have this guy over here, the weightlifter. Hi Buzz, if you can bring me 5 weights before you run out of time, I will give you a Pizza Planet token. Alright, so this is again similar to the Bullseye and Slinky missions, except we are helping this weightlifter toy find his 5 weights. So the first one's going to be right next, or right across from him in that first room. Second one is going to be in this next room over here. And then we have 3 more to find. So what you want to do is jump up onto this, I think it's like an air conditioner. Jump onto this conveyor belt. You'll find one right there. And then go into the next room over on this side with all these suitcases. And there's a weight over here. As you can see, we have Mr. Potato Head in this level. So we'll be able to unlock our 5th and final Potato Head item in this level. And then the last weight is going to be underneath the conveyor belt, hidden right there. And then you want to quickly return those to the weightlifter for a Pizza Planet token. Well done. You have found all my weights. Here is your Pizza Planet token. Alright. I don't know what kind of voice that was for him, but I just kind of went with it. All right, so there's our first Pizza Planet token. Not too shabby, pretty simple stuff there. But next we want to go back into this room over here. Actually, yeah, we want to go into this room, and we have a little bit of stuff to do in here. But the first thing we want to focus on is, as you can see, we had Mr. Potato Head over there. He is going to be looking for his next body part, which I believe in this level is his mouth. So what we want to do is move this weight over here, and then you're gonna have these large balancing platforms, a lot larger than any of the ones you've done previously. But what you want to do is, this part takes a lot of patience and time. But if you are patient enough, you can get this balance beam once you have your weight on one side to balance on one side, and then it'll lift that end up so you can jump onto this one. Let me grab this coin real quick. And then you want to do the same on this one as well. Make sure you have all of your weight on one side. Allow it to kind of tilt and come to a little bit of a stop there. And then you can quickly run and jump up here. Grab these coins. And then if you go over here, you have another platform that you need to jump on. Get up here. And as you can see, we have Mr. Potato Head's mouth. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Alright, so now that you have Mr. Potato Head's mouth, you want to go ahead and go back into that room with all those suitcases that are stacked up. It's like the main luggage area, I guess, of the airport. And then you want to go find Mr. Potato Head for your 5th and final Potato Head item. Let's see what we got. Wow, thanks Buzz. In return for finding my mouth, I will let you use the hover boots. You can float higher by holding down the A button on the N64 controller. Alright. So the hover boots are our final item. This can, in my opinion, this is probably the hardest to control of all the items other than the rocket boots. But if you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. You basically just want to hold down the A button the entire time you're using them, and I'll show that off here once I find them. Right here. So here's the hover boots. So once you activate those, Buzz will just continuously hover. And again, you just want to continuously hold down if you're playing on N64, of course, hold down the A button, and he will eventually get up to the top of this luggage. And as you can see, we have the Prospector. Ha 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 ha, defeat the Prospector boss to get a Pizza Planet token. So we have caught up with Prospector himself. So as you can see, Woody and Jesse and the Roundup Gang are probably not far off. This guy's pretty easy. You just want to spin attack him and avoid his, I guess, axe attack. I don't really know what you would call. He's like, it's like a fissure attack, kind of like in Pokemon. But he will go down pretty quickly for your 2nd Pizza Planet token. Very nice. Not a hard boss at all. As important of a character as he is in the game, he's pretty easy to take down. And look at this guy. Come on now. Did he really think he was going to take down the Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear of all people with an axe? Come on, dude. It's not the Wild Wild West anymore, Prospector. Get with the times. Alright. But anyways, you want to jump up on that suitcase, climb up here. There's still more to do up in this area. Well, one more thing to collect. Jump onto this cable. Some more zip lining at its finest. And we'll come over here for our 2nd little Tyke passenger. Alright, so now you see we're at the very top of the airport. And we want to jump down. Alright, so now that you have the hover boots, you want to go back into this room past the weightlifter guy and go back into this room with this big rocket. So what you want to do is you will find the hover boots again in this area, and you're going to need them for a couple of different things. But first we want to, as you see, this is the guy we're going to return the little Tikes to. Hi Buzz, if you find 5 little Tyke passengers for my next flight, I will give you a Pizza Planet token. So once we have all 5 of those little Tyke passengers, we'll come back to this guy, the pilot, and he will give us another Pizza Planet token. I just want to take out these hunter figurines, but what we want to do now that we have the hover boots is we want to do a bit of climbing. So like before, we want to jump back up on this weight and back up onto these huge balancing platforms. And we want to get back up to that platform where we found Mr. Potato Head's mouth at, because we're going to have to do a couple more things up there. But basically what we want to do is we want to scale the top of this rocket thing in the middle, and that is where we're going to find the stuff that we need. So again, just takes a little bit of patience. This is probably the most, it can be challenging if you don't make these jumps correctly, which I have definitely not done in the past. You just want to be very careful on how you make these jumps. But now we want to go over here. So this is the hardest part. And as you can see, I fell. Alright, so I'm making my way back up here. So this part's actually really easy. If you don't know what you're doing, it can be tricky. You just want to jump one time. Do not do the extended jump there. Come on. Alright, so back up on this first platform. Again, I wasn't even taking my own advice there, but you just want to single jump on those platforms. For some reason, that's the only way to really, I've managed to get up there. Double jumping will make it to where he just doesn't grab on for some reason. But once you make it up to this part, you'll see this gigantic fan. You want to wait till it stops blowing, because it can blow you off the platform, and it will, of course, make you fall down and make you restart again. You do not want to do that. But what we want to aim to do is jump over here on this yellow and black pole. And as you can see, we have another little Tyke passenger up here on the fan. You want to grab him. There's your third one. These guys are just, I just love how they're like decked out with like sunglasses, and they're just ready to go. They're ready to catch their flights, man. They're ready. Alright, so as you see, we have this big rocket here. Do not jump inside of it. There's nothing down there in the inside. You want to get to the top of it. So you want to continue to climb these poles, jump onto this platform here, and as you see, we have another hover boots over here. Kill the snake so that's not in your way. So what we want to do is grab these hover boots up here, wait for this fan to stop blowing, or we'll just continue to do it now. And you want to hover all the way to the top of this rocket as fast as you can, because there is a Pizza Planet token on the very tip top. Very nice. Alright, so now what we want to do is kind of tricky. So let's see if I can jump down here. Oh my gosh, wait. Let me see if I can do this. So this is going to be impressive if I can do this, because this is not how you're supposed to do this. But there's another little Tyke right below us, and we have to get to him. But he's below the platform we're on, so he's kind of tricky to get to. We wait for that fan to shut off. Can I do this? Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is actually not how you're supposed to do this. I can't believe I did that. You're actually supposed to use the hover boots up there, and you're supposed to somehow hover down 2 platforms below yourself to grab him. But somehow I was able to double jump down, and I did it all the same. So I'm kind of proud of myself there, because that is not how you're supposed to do that. Very nice. Alright, so now that you have finished that rocket room, we're kind of done in there for now until we collect all the little Tykes. We want to jump back up on this conveyor. And what we want to do is get onto this blue suitcase, and we want to jump up here because we have more to explore up at the top of this room. Get rid of these hunter figurines. As you can see, we have our 50 coins for ham, so we'll be able to turn those in anytime. Jump up here. Some more death by these hunter figurines. And we have a lot of climbing to do up here. Alright. So just a little bit more scaling to do up here. Also something I wanted to talk about. I actually kind of found this out recently, and I really didn't know this. I do not own a PS5 or a PS4. But like I was saying before, this game was released on the PlayStation 1 way back in, like, I think it was either 1999 or 2000. And I didn't know that this game, it was released on the N64, but as far as I know, there is no way to play this game on any newer Nintendo system. However, if you own a PS5 or a PS4, and I think even a PS3, you can download this game on those consoles as well, even though it was originally released on the PS1. That's just something I think is really cool. So if you want to play this game, or if you're watching this video and you decide you're interested in playing this game and you have a PS5 or a PS4 or PS3, you can download it. And I fell. All right, so I had to make my way all the way back up on this conveyor belt, and this time we're not gonna fall. But yeah, that's something I think is kind of cool. So this game is downloadable on the newer PlayStation consoles. So very nice. If you're interested in this game, I don't know how much it costs because I don't have a PlayStation, but if you can afford it and you want to try this game out, I highly recommend at least trying it because it is such a fun game. It's a great 3D platformer. I grew up with this game. And I just love it. There's so many things to collect. The level design is just great for how old this game is. It's just a wonderful game, in my opinion. I think it's a very underrated game and kind of a forgotten game for the most part. But once we make it up to the top of these conveyor belts in this room, we have our fifth and final little tyke passenger. So very nice. So now we can jump all the way back down because we want to return to the pilot and then eventually to Ham for our final Pizza Planet tokens. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go back into the rocket room where we will find the little tyke pilot. I don't know if that's his official name, but that's what we're going to call him, because why not? Thanks for finding my little tyke passengers, Buzz. Here is a Pizza Planet token. So that is our fourth one of the level. We have one more to get from Ham, and then we're done here. But yeah, not much to it. Alright, so now that we are back in the main area where we started, main conveyor belt area, we want to go ahead and climb back up to the top of the conveyor belt to get back up to Ham. If you remember, he was in the very beginning of the level. Just want to go ahead and climb over here onto this white cabinet. Well done, Buzz. Here's your Pizza Planet token, and there's our fifth and final one. And we are done here. We are that much closer to finding our best friend, Woody. We gotta get to him before Al takes off on his flight. And as you can see, we have unlocked every unlockable item for Mr. Potato Head, so we are that much closer to the end. We almost have everything. Alright, so now we are going to go ahead and take on the next level, Tarmac Trouble. But first, we have some backtracking to do at Al's Toy Barn. Alright, so once you have re-entered Al's Toy Barn, if you remember from before, there was a couple things that we couldn't do. Well, really one thing we couldn't do, which is finding all of the chicks. So the first thing you want to do is you want to head to the very back of the toy barn, and you remember our friend the rooster over here with the skateboard. We want to talk to him again, and we want to get that hatching chick out of that egg that hatches, but we can only do that by activating this mission. So like before, jump on the skateboard, let it get you to this shelf, or that trampoline, jump on that shelf. A little bit of platforming like we did before. We're timed, and we want to jump up here again on this rope, and that gets us to that hatching chick out of the egg, and that'll be our first chick of the level. Alright, and then we actually can get the second one in the same area as well. So what we want to do is we're going to push down that lever like we did the first time we were here, except we're going to show this part off in its entirety. So now that after we unlocked the rocket boots, we can jump on this counter, stomp on this, that'll propel us on those gumball machines. And I didn't show this off in its entirety because I didn't make this last time, but we're gonna jump onto these bars, and if you do this successfully, you will make it onto this thing, this hay bale, swinging hay bale thing. Wow! And there's our second chick. So that can be difficult if you don't time it right or you don't jump right, but eventually you should be able to get it. Alright, so if you remember back in this area, if you go back in this area with those bouncing basketballs and these bicycle wheels, you jump through those wheels, get to the top of this area. We had another chick over here. For some reason I can never jump through these wheels, I don't know why. But once you get through that final one, jump over to this shelf, and then there's our third chick by that other skateboard. Alright, so if you get to the room, or if you continue past that room with the skateboard and you jump over those cones, you'll eventually get to this shelf where that box that we pushed down from before is. So we want to push that box. Let me take care of this plane box first. Get rid of these planes. Those can get annoying. We're gonna, like before, push this box across this room to this other shelf, and that'll be where our fourth chick is. Right next to that vent that takes us back to the beginning of the level. And there he is, chick number 4. Alright, so now that we have the hover boots, we can finally get the 5th and final chick, and this is what stopped us from getting this last Pizza Planet token the first time. So I can see the hover boots are located in this room in the very far back by that rooster. You just want to go to the left, across from that office room, and you can hover up on these boxes. So what you're going to want to do is make your way on top of these boxes, and I can see these ones that are being, that are kind of being lifted up and down on these conveyors. You want to jump across these. And our 5th and final chick is going to be on the other side of this room, on top of these boxes. So once you make your way over here, you want to jump on this box where these coins are, and then jump on this highest point, and you'll find your 5th and final chick. Alright, so now that we have our 5th final chick, you want to go back to Mother Chicken, and you'll get your final Pizza Planet token last in this level. So we are finally done here. No more backtracking, that was it. Alright, so now that we are finally done with all the backtracking in this game, we're going to go ahead and take on the final level of the game, Tarmac Trouble. Let's do it. Their search even takes them out onto the runway. Alright, quick little cutscene there. But now we are in the final level of the game, so this is the Tarmac Trouble level. As you can see, we are outside the airport, and we are on the runway now. So I love this, and this is again accurate to the end of the movie where Buzz chases Woody down on the plane, and he tries to get him from being sent to Japan and sold to that buyer in Japan. As you see, we have a giant plane kind of rotating around the middle of the area. We do have something we need to do there, but first we're going to go ahead and grab this bouncing little luggage guy because he is our collectible of the level. So we need to find 5 luggages in this game, and in this level, and that'll get us to a Pizza Planet token. First we're going to go ahead and take out these vultures. We're going to go ahead and grab these rocket boots over here. Actually, see if there's anything over here. Okay, so Ham is actually over at area 5. So each area of this level is going to be designated by a number, and that's going to be how you remember where you're going. As you see, Ham is over here in area 5, so once we get our 50 coins, we'll have to remember to go back to that area to turn those into Ham. But yeah, this is like basically the whole design of this level is you're out in the runway. It's a big circular runway, and every area is going to be, again, designated by those numbers. Those numbers are important because I think you have something to do with each area. And you have to just remember where you're going and what numbers. If you just remember what numbers each character is at, or each what area each number is at, you should be able to. You shouldn't be able to get lost. This is a pretty open, easy level to explore. So for the most part, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But you have a nice opportunity for coins in this area where there's a bunch of enemies. And of course, all the enemies drop coins once you destroy them the first time. So you'll know that if you've been in an area, if you destroy the enemies and they don't drop the coins, that is another helpful reminder of where you are. But if we go into this middle area, jump over this green stuff because we can actually take damage from that. It's like slime or something. I don't know what that is, or like jet fuel or petroleum. I don't know what that's supposed to be exactly. But as you can see, we have Slinky Dog. He has returned. It's been a while, man. Hi, Buzz. If you can reach the end of this path without jumping or touching the green slime, I will give you a Pizza Planet token. Alright. Easy enough, right? Alright, so this part can be really tricky or really easy. So actually the best method to this race is, as you see, you're timed at a minute to get around this little area, this green slime. The best method for this is actually just to just keep running. Don't slow down or stop at all. If you've never done this part before, this can be very annoying and very tedious because, again, if you touch any of the green slime or if you jump at all, you have to reset this mission and you'll have to do it all over again from the beginning where Slinky is. But like I said, if you just keep running, if you're playing on the N64 with the control stick, you just basically have to tilt the control stick in a certain direction the whole time, and you should be able to easily do this with no problem. As you can see, we're at the end already, and we have our first Pizza Planet token. Not too shabby, not too bad. Again, a little bit of a method there. Just keep running and just make sure you're tilting the control stick in the right direction, and you should be able to easily get through that with no problem at all. But now we're going to go ahead and move on to our next thing. So as you can see, we have a big helicopter over there on the right. We have the plane that's getting ready to run us over here. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get underneath that so we don't get taken out by the plane that Woody is actually on. What we need to do is destroy these snakes and these hunter figurines, and we'll travel to our next destination. As you can see, we have area 8 over there. We have so there's a total of 8 designated areas in this runway. But what we want to do now is we want to go over and collect these coins first. Already have half of the coins we need. Not too bad. Kill this jumping snake. Looks like we've already killed him. And we got him already too. Alright. So moving on. As you can see in area 2, we have a little bit of a we're not really sure what that is. Some kind of airport vehicle that's like hauling wrecks on the back of it. But you see we have a big helicopter floating up there. We need to do something up there. So we're going to go ahead in this direction next. Alright, and we have Rex over here. Let's see what he's got for us. There is a token being carried by the helicopter. Signal the helicopter to land by solving the lights puzzle in Zone 1. You can use the zipline at the end of this trolley to reach the puzzle area. So this puzzle coming up here is actually pretty difficult to understand if you have no idea what you're doing or you've never played this before. As you see, we have another luggage guy in the vehicle here on the floor, so we're going to collect him. And now we want to get up there where that helicopter is to do the light puzzle. So again, like I said, this can be kind of challenging if you don't know what you're doing, so I'm going to see if I can walk you through this as best as I can. I still kind of have trouble with this part at times because, again, it's one of those puzzles where it's just kind of like you have to get lucky and just stomp on the right switch. Kind of similar to the elevator hop level where you're kind of lining up those wires in the control room. But basically what you have here is 4 switches. And I'll show you what to do here. So basically what you want to do is you want to jump on the switches where the lights are lit up. Whichever lights are turned on, you want to find that switch. So basically, if the top light or bottom light is turned on of a certain color, you want to find where that is on the switch, and you just want to hit all those switches coordinated with the lights that are lit up. So I'm going to stop the switch that has the bottom yellow light on it, and then the switch that has the top red light on it, since those are the lights that are lit up on mine. And that'll lower the helicopter for your Pizza Planet token.